And welcome to A Tribe Called Jess. We are so happy to be here tonight, coming to you from the Salisbury Studios, fueled by Monster, and I have Frank the Tank here.
Yo.
Frankie Diaz, and I have Julio Diaz, and our baby boy Scott, and my lifer Jeff, of course. Oh my gosh, do you see that close up?
Hello.
Tribe Called Jess. Hi, Jeff. Tribe Called Jess now has its own stickers, as do all the amazing podcasts. Notebook Wagering was right before us. That is on the Wylde Style Network. So go to the Wylde Style Network, watch us all live, as well as YouTube, and subscribe to the Wylde Style Network and the podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. God, I got all those plugs in tonight.
Hey,
go
good
me.
Good shows. Check them out.
Go me. Yeah, those guys from Notebook Wagering gave me a little challenge about football players. So tune in next week to find out what that is. That could be scary, guys.
I want to find out.
You want to find out?
Yep.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to like this research. I can't even. I don't want to give it away. So how is everyone? What's going on?
Well, I am nice and more tan. I don't know if you can tell.
And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
I'm doing good. I'm feeling great.
We'll tell everybody where you were escapading to and doing slow-mo dances. How are you, Julio?
I'm refreshed. I got a break from Frankie, so, you know.
Is it that bad? I feel like Frankie's a good brother.
I mean,
He gets you to go everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And Scott, any great stories for us, Scott?
Just living the dream.
What's the dream?
I'm not sure.
A wet one, or I'm just kidding.
But
That was so. Where's my sound effects? I felt like that was a
you don't
super
deserve that
cool
one.
joke. Jeff, what's going on?
Not too much.
Yeah. Did you end up going to what's the show called?
Kicks.
No, I saw you went to Kicks. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Dewey, that was awesome as always.
Yeah,
Kicks is the best.
Marshmallow, I won't say his real name. Marshmallow was texting me.
Oh yeah.
Where are you? I'm like, well, obviously not at Dewey Beach.
Yeah, we were having a good time.
I bet. And no, you said Boy George.
I did not go to that.
You didn't?
No.
Aw.
Too much work to do.
I know. I feel you. Dude, I was up at 4 a.m., gym at 5:30 a.m. I did not stop till God this afternoon. I'm like, I can't work anymore. Anyway, well, we have a lot of stuff to talk smack about tonight. It has been, yeah. We had to cancel last week. Had a little emergency, but that's okay. But we got a lot going on here this weekend. We have Cagezilla, guys, our MMA fighting in the cage, and what a fight card it's gonna be. We have a few tables left, very little. I think we have 1 4 top and a couple seats at some 3 tops. So if you want a table, VIP.
I'm not so sure that we have those left. I've been getting several phone calls.
Well, we might be out
in the last couple hours.
But you got to be here either way. CageZillaTickets.com. Listen to the great music put on by Catherine, a great production by Jeff, and of course our baby boy Scott, and the Cage girls, excuse me, and the VIP girls, all beautiful women, and bikini contest after, and a nice little after party. Jeff, what's the big headline fight?
Sandra Ashvili, no. Batsiashvili, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Versus Diallo Braithwaite, 2 badass undefeated 135-pound fighters. Diallo's our 145-pound champion.
Damn.
So he's going down 10 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Title fight or no?
Yeah, title fight. And then
nice.
light heavyweight title fight as well from Evan Silverback Stevens. And he's our 185-pound champ.
Excellent.
Oh, those are
wow.
big boys. 185 is pretty big.
It's gonna be
some big boys.
It's going to be a good time, guys. So come down to the Salisbury Center this Saturday. Fights start about 7 o'clock. And again, that's Cagezilla Tickets. To get your tickets, CageZillaTickets.com. And we look forward to seeing everybody. I'll be here with A Tribe Called Jess, posting out for all your social media needs, and also doing some VIP work. And I got stickers for A Tribe Called Jess, or should I say Jeff got stickers for A Tribe Called Jess. So now I'll be pimping out my stickers all night at the show. So come see me, grab one, and get $1. It goes towards our lovely podcast.
I was told they were pasties.
They're not pasties. You guys were tempting me to wear them as pasties. They would have fallen off.
That's what I bought them for. They're pretty sticky, so you can do it.
Yeah. Okay. No. No, although I won't criticize. The one thing on my body I won't criticize is those girls. No, they're good. They're good.
Hey, my eyes are up here.
My eyes are up here. Don't forget, guys, to go subscribe to A Tribe Called Jess and the Wild Style Network on Spotify and on Apple Music. We surely would appreciate it, again, as well as YouTube. And I want to give a quick shout out to my cousin Melanie. It is her birthday tomorrow. I love her to death. She's one of my best friends, as well as my family. She's awesome. We're all going to have dinner at the Watergate. And then go up to the club on the rooftop. So she's awesome. She's cool. We need to get her in here, but I don't think she can go on based on her job. So big shout out to her. And a couple, just on a sad note, just sending our love and prayers. Our friend Rosanna passed away earlier this week. And, a lot of her husband, her friends, and all of us, me included, it's just very sad, and I don't like to start the show on a sad thing, but she was an amazing human, and sorry to hear of her passing. So I just wanted to mention her because my heart just kind of broke a little earlier this week. So
I remember you telling me it was sad
yeah. So what a couple of weekends we have had. Let's get into the smack talking, guys. I love you hanging in there for all the plugs I like to do. So Frankie, where were you last weekend?
Miami.
Mammy.
305.
Yeah, Miami.
My daddy. How was it?
It was nice.
Yeah. It was tame for you.
I behaved. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like impressed. So first of all, you sent me this slow motion video of you on the beach. I'm like, is he wasted or not? But you weren't.
No.
Rubbing ice all over your body.
It was hot.
Yeah, but it's a slow motion, like joking sex video. I'm like, what are you doing, Frankie?
I know, you were like sucking on the ice first, and then like all over your body.
Yeah, it was really hot. So then I was like, started putting it on my chest a little bit. Next thing you know, I'm putting it on my hair. And my friends are recording me, sending me slow motion videos.
Oh, my God,
I have
Frankie.
my shorts rolled up to my...
All right. But the more important question, unless they see the video, they don't care.
Yeah, all right.
The more important question is, how many feet did you suck on?
Exactly.
How many feet did you suck on? How many girls did you ask to see their feet?
It was a very quiet weekend.
I'm disappointed. Don't ever go to Miami and come back with this shit again. I want stories. You're allowed to get a little, that's what it's for.
This one was a R&R. It was just relaxation, break, just tanning. I didn't even drink. I had 2 drinks all weekend.
Oh, well, you're boring.
Exactly.
You didn't even go to space.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm saving all that for when we go to Miami.
And you're going to New York this weekend.
Oh, that is...
And I find out at the Mirage, you're like, oh, Vintage Culture is playing. I'm like, if you don't go there and listen to Vintage Culture set, I'm going to be very upset. So I want videos of Vintage Culture from the Mirage. So
when you ask for videos, I deliver.
I know. No. So why are you guys going to New York?
We'll tell later.
Are you going to see strippers?
We're going to be doing
Do
XYZ.
Do you hear this, Jeff?
This is party. This is for partying.
I do.
Yeah.
Where's my invite?
Yeah, well, Jeff's like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Are you going to see strippers or not?
I like seeing naked women.
It's on the... Jeff wants to see some naked women.
Strip clubs are on the agenda.
Jeff lets you come here, look at all these beautiful girls, and you're not even inviting him to New York? He could come up right after. I'm drinking soda, which I never do.
He's got Cagezilla. He can't come. He's got Cagezilla.
He could come right after.
I mean, Scott can take care of that for Jeff,
All right, well, he's on.
Go for it, Jeff.
All righty, yeah. Scott, you're running Cagezilla Saturday.
Scott, oh, God. Can you hand me my dog? My dog is so ornery.
Get over there.
Come here. You're ruining the show, Oshi. Anyway,
He's
my God, this dog. So anyway, well, I had a great couple weekends. I went back to the Heist Summer Series.
Oh, those parties were hot.
Back to back, both Sundays since we missed a week. And it's done now, guys. So Heist put on a summer series at the Wharf. First of all, I want to notate, DC, take note, you finally learn to use your water for a proper day party. And it's what this city needs. We want day parties on a Sunday, out by the water.
Yep.
It was amazing because they had different setups. One, was the more big room progressive EDM. You had the I think it was drag queens going around. It was just fabulous. It's such a vibe, right? Such
Got
just
reggaeton inside.
a what?
Reggaeton. They were playing reggaeton too.
A what?
Reggaeton.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Reggaeton.
Reggaeton.
Oh, reggaeton.
Oh,
you gotta pronounce it in
reggaeton.
English.
I'm sorry, Frankie. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
And then outside, you have your techno house music. So, and you went with me 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And late London, Rez, who's our friend, and Misha. Oh my God. I followed that. I know Rez I followed since 2017 and just watching him progress till now. And then Misha, when they go back to back, High Class Nasty. And what a spectacular, special set.
Yeah, boats talking to listen to.
Yeah,
them.
boats were coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was just knowing music and just listening was such a special set, spectacular.
Really good, they're good.
And my friend Lance, and I think her name is, I did write it down, Shama, went back to back. They were excellent. That's when we first got there.
Yeah.
What a set they put on. They put it on SoundCloud. Excellent set. Our friend, shout out to Mitra too. Mitra showed up that day,
Yeah.
a bunch of our friends, and it was just off the chain. We had such a good time. And shout out to Mitra. Happy birthday, Mitra.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. She's the coolest chick, right?
Yeah.
She's just such a cool chick. I love hanging out with her. Amazing
too.
human, so much fun.
Always having fun.
She's real to the bone,
vibe.
too.
Yeah.
She's real.
Great vibe.
So anyway, they're just killing it. It's over now, and just a big shout out. Do it again. It's probably the best Sunday thing I've been to around here since A-Town.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever in life replace that
I think they
vibe.
put the wharf on the map now. That party, those parties were really
Yeah,
good.
like I don't want to hear. I mean, I think it's great they have the bands and all that. Okay, no, I want to dance and have fun, and I didn't drink this past weekend, but the weekend with you, I had a few,
Yeah, we did.
and a few now. Just I'm like, oh God, I feel drunk, and I'm like, how many have I had? And I'm like 2.
Yeah, I know.
Because I don't drink as much anymore at all. But just kudos to them. And then okay, so Avantika. Remember the DJ
Of
we
course.
found? I met Jeff, you remember, and Scott, you threw her on the screen. So I tagged, she did this on-site set, and I tagged her in it, just showing support. She listens to our podcast, showed her support back. And so she listened to the podcast, and she goes, tell Frankie and Julio that I'm Indian. I am not half Indian, half American.
Did I say that?
She all in good fun, but she goes, razz them for me, and I kept it from you guys all week. I said I absolutely will, because I said I think she's
Well, I thought that
Indian,
because
and you're like, well, it's Indian American. One of you said that.
I said that.
Yeah.
I thought those were her parents on the side supporting her. It
Well,
wasn't.
I didn't
It was just
see.
the
I don't
It was
know.
just the older couple partying.
Maybe because that one older couple. Their names just left my head. I mean, they're amazing.
No, but this was it was an Indian lady with a white guy, so I thought that was her parents.
Maybe her mom's remarried. Now she's really
duh,
going to be
well,
mad
now-
at you. I'm going to send her this one, and she's going to be like, "Oh my
So it's not
God."
like I like know her that I said she was half.
Just those are my managers. How dare you?
I know.
So okay, and then we talked about your feet in Miami, and then oh my God, leaving one of the shows. This is such a moment for me because this is such one of my favorite words. Oshi, say hi to everybody and be a good boy. We're leaving one of the shows, and I was like, "Yeah, better than being fugazi." And you're like, "What?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what?" And you're like, "What does that mean?"
I've never heard that before.
Jeff, you know fugazi, yeah?
Yes, fake.
Yeah. So
I've never heard it.
yeah. So one of my
It's Italian.
It's Italian. So one of my
You didn't watch
favorite.
Sopranos?
Well, not
Nope,
so,
I didn't.
Originally, I think that became popular with Donnie Brasco. Remember that movie?
Yeah, you sent me that clip.
Because
Yeah.
he goes, I don't know how the F you knew that ring was a fugazi. And then Cardi B,
Cardi, yeah.
Cardi
She's
B,
Cardi.
and that Maroon 5 song, at least if you know the word, you picked up on that, right? She
Yeah.
says, you don't want a girl like me, I'm too crazy, but all the other girls are just fugazi,
Fugazi, yeah.
or something like that. And I'm like, that's right. That's right.
We're gonna be saying that for a while now.
Yeah, fugazi. I say, I say it all the time, depending on the, the situation.
Can we go like this?
Fugazi. That's
Just
where.
use it until you forget about it.
Well, no, that Jeff wasn't forget about it too, Donnie Brasco, where they're like, you say, forget about it. Forget about it. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I was turned off. That I don't know.
You were turned off.
I get them all mixed up.
Anyway, so that was a good side bit because we were like, I was laughing. I'm like, have you never heard the word fugazi?
We were saying it all day after that.
Well, there's a lot of fugazis out there. Don't you worry. I see. Yeah. Okay. I digress.
Not to be confused with the band Fugazi.
Fugazi. Is there a band named Fugazi?
Yeah, they're a huge DC punk band that influenced Pearl Jam, Nirvana.
Really?
Dave Grohl.
I'll go look it up.
Yep, they're awesome.
Dude, I saw Dave Grohl at Jack's drum. Oh God, and he gave me drumsticks, and then I liked this dude, and he was a drummer, and I let him have them. I'm so very upset that I did that for a boy.
Wow, Jess.
Oh yeah, I think I do have another set though. But yeah, I saw him at Jack. God, I went and saw Pearl Jam, Jeff, in Seattle. I thought it would be a good idea to go drive the state of Washington one time. So I saw them at one of their final farewell tours. They're really good.
My brother got up on stage with Pearl Jam at, I believe it was Lollapalooza or HF Festival when they were at
Nice. I think I saw
Lake
him.
Fairfax.
Oh no, then no.
My brother jumps up on there, holds
Eric or
Eddie Vedder's hand, Chris,
Yeah.
when he had his dreads and his nose
Yeah,
pierced.
yeah.
He's got the video. It's funny.
That's awesome.
But he goes up and totally interrupts the Pearl Jam set. And this is before they got big because they were like opening up for Soundgarden and stuff.
Yeah.
And he just jumps up there. They grab each other's hand and they twirl around in circles. Like
That's
and then Christopher
awesome.
jumps up out into the audience. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Christopher's probably like 18 maybe.
You know who I'm bummed I missed that came back, and I hope they're coming back again, was Rage Against the Machine. I love Rage.
Yeah, they're supposed to be coming back.
Are they?
With the full band, yeah.
I want
Zach left.
I love Rage. I want to see them again. That era of time of music was just so cool.
Definitely let me know about that, Jess. That's so much.
You like Rage?
Oh yeah, I love.
I love Rage. The Santa Maria. Remember that
Julio
song?
likes
I
all
forget the
those.
name. Yeah.
big
I loved
fan.
HFS, but I don't want to bore people. I want to get into talking lots of smack, some sex, some craziness that I kind of put together today. One thing I noticed, like I wanted to say to ladies out there, and I didn't even tell you this, Frankie. You're not even paying attention to me.
I am.
What kind of podcast is this? So what I notice, I'm very observant when I'm out, and like you see a lot of girls, and some of them very highly attractive in their young age, and so when I was out on Sunday, I just pay attention. I pay attention. It's amazing the amount of women that came up to me, lady. They're much younger, most of them, because I'm dancing around like I am that age. And they're just so kind and nice and like, you're so hot and, you're such a vibe. And I'm like, you're so hot, And then there's other girls that are just, I don't know. Like they just are unkind to women, or they have like, just give nasty looks. Not me. I just watch them do it to other women. And I'm like, don't do that. Words to the wise to ladies out there. Don't do that. Be kind to other women. The women, the camaraderie between women, is so important, But I also think, sometimes we have a little pretty privilege, and I get that whole when you're young, but you're going to get old. I promise. I'm living proof. And you better have more to your character than that. So be kind to people. It makes girls so unattractive to me when I see them being rude to other girls, I mean, it's
uncalled for.
Especially, I think when you're that age, you're very influenced in all the people that are very aesthetically pleasing. Other women are.
Yeah.
And for another woman that they're looking at in that way, does that make sense to be kind to them? Right, wrong, or should it or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You should be. I just noticed a lot of that going on, and I was like, guys, ladies, like, that is not hot. That is not, you just, in my book, not that they give a shit about me, you just went down a level in your looks. So I'm sure maybe when I was young and way prettier, I probably did too, but now I'm older and wiser and still act like a child. Opinions?
No, I mean, I get it. It's it does take them down a notch and it makes them less attractive. It's not just about physical appearance. The way you are as a person also makes you more attractive. You know, it's you want to be someone you want to be approached. I don't understand why some women go there and they just like walk around just giving people attitude and like, why are you out in public?
I think, yeah, that's what I mean in general, but especially to other women. But yeah, I'm just like, smile, don't look down on people. Like,
oh yeah, really?
I mean,
I'll be
me,
like,
I don't
a guy
give,
telling a girl, well, you should smile more.
you know me, I don't give two shits. So I'm like, I'm gonna have fun regardless. I don't care who the fuck you are, how pretty you are, nothing. Like, it does not matter to me. I care what kind of vibe you're giving. But anyway, I just wanted to say that. And then, so let's see. Oh, Jeff, did you hear about that Don Geronimo?
Yeah. Yes. Wow.
And the
Where did that come from?
Charlotte McBride. Oh, well, no, these are all, look, I had 2 weeks. Like, the shit was on my mind, the Don Geronimo, Charlotte McBride thing. And I don't usually bring stuff like this up.
I'll be right back. I gotta go.
I probably shouldn't because Frankie and I have a difference of opinion on this.
There we go.
I'm sure you do too.
What?
So he got fired.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, well, maybe that's a little harsh. But then I kind of read the commentary and I have an opinion on it. But I would like you guys as men's opinion on. Let me set this up for the audience. So
As men says.
Yeah. So what does that mean? What are you saying?
Mensa are the top 1% of smartest people in the world, pretty much.
Frankie, don't worry about later. You're not. Pay attention.
I am.
So to the audience, Charlotte, hold on, I get her. McBride has been a sportscaster, I guess, or sports reporter. I'm sorry, and has worked her way up to being able to go for 17 years, and worked her way up to being able to go to the training camp as a woman in a very what I would call a man's world, and I don't think many people would disagree, especially going back 17 years. And I'm not one of those ladies that I take things in stride, right? And she does look very blonde and pretty, and he basically was catcalling her as a Barbie, you know, and then thought she was a cheerleader, and then saying she was tight or something. One of them was yelling she was tight and all that. Now, granted, had he redirected his comment or said, you know, oh God, look at that lady, she looks like Barbie, but you know, Barbie's so big right now, strength in women. He could have made that a totally different moment.
We're guys, we don't talk like that.
Well, look where he's out of a job. Well, guess what? He's out of a job now, so
he's out of a job because people are way too sensitive nowadays.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
He called her a Barbie. Who cares? I mean, everybody
No, it was a
Major
little
compliment.
more.
I texted a few
he
people. I was
said,
like,
yo, she's
if he
tight.
was at the Wylde Network, I would give him a raise, not fire him.
She said, look, Barbie is here. Hi, Barbie girl. Then he called her a cheerleader.
Oh
And
no!
then he was
I can't believe that he
screaming.
called her a cheerleader.
This is the part that I think got him in trouble. Something about screaming how tight she was.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the
I don't
part.
know. You're getting
I don't
you're
know.
getting fired for saying something about how tight she was. Like that. What did he say? Without knowing that, I couldn't justify that. I mean, saying
think
something
it was
like
a
that is
conversation
maybe a
between
little
the
over the
guys,
top,
too.
but he still shouldn't be fired. Get suspended or penalized or whatever. But
Okay, fair.
Like everybody's so overly sensitive. I mean, the guy got suspended from the Orioles broadcast because he brought up how poorly they perform against Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay Stadium. I mean,
Okay,
get over yourself. Everybody's like so uptight
So,
about everything.
I'm in between on this because I think if we had the audio, and I don't want to get that far because then I'll never finish the stuff.
We'll get into it.
But and we'll get into it, and that's not the kind of show I want. But you know, I think it was a little more. Yes, okay, suspension, and I agree. People are oversensitive to a point. Her feelings were she just felt like, I think the second time around he was catcalling, she felt like degraded. I don't think any man would be catcalled like that out, regardless. I want to know when the last time that
But if he
happened.
was, who cares? I mean, they should.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Jeff, but there is I mean, the lady deserves respect. She's been in 17 years. Women, period, don't want to be catcalled. Like, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, but I'm way more mean than she is, obviously. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. If they say something she doesn't like, she can say something back to them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not saying it warrants firing. I'm just saying Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying that people should be demeaning to other people, but is calling someone who's very attractive Barbie really that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to pull the audio and listen to
And
the
how is
audio.
it demeaning when everybody's like talking about the Barbie movie and Barbie this, Barbie that? Now all of a sudden it's offensive.
Right.
I mean,
it's like if they say, "Oh, she's a whore." The girl only gets mad if she is a whore and she's upset about it. If she's not a whore, she doesn't get mad.
Why is horror derogatory? The only difference is they're probably not getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Paramore stopped doing that song because it had the word whore in it for so long. It's like,
But they brought it back.
I know that's part of their artistic, sensibilities, and it was right. I guess they changed their sensibilities and they took it out. But like everybody's so worried about words. I mean, anybody should be able to say anything that they want. And then, I mean, it's like the Redskins. I think that it probably is racist. And it's not appropriate necessarily, but if the public accepts it, then they accept it. If they changed it to the N words, the public wouldn't accept it. And I guess that's wrong for Indians, who I thought that I was, but so I can't speak from that being part Indian. But I just think that nowadays you can't say anything. You're walking on eggshells no matter what you say, and some of it's like they say the Redskins the intention is not there. That doesn't matter either. But intention is part of it. If people are upset, but again, the public speaks with their dollars. If they don't like it, then they're not going to. And unfortunately,
hold on, I'm with you on that, but
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference between the whole Redskins controversy and those are two very different things, or rename. I mean,
that's the other thing too.
I don't
it's
like
racial.
I
Like they can't help what race they are. She can help if she dolls herself up, and
she's on the TV. What is she supposed to do? Look like
but
shit?
I'm not saying that she should look like shit. But I mean that's.
I mean, I put
it's something
fake eyelashes
that
on
someone's
and-
saying about her looks, and he's not like saying that she's bad. There's anything bad. It's a comment saying that she's very, very well put together and attractive, and he wasn't trying to demean her by that. I mean, he was cutting up.
Yeah. I'm on the fence here either way. I'm not sure where. I'm probably with you on the firings. That didn't need to happen. I mean, I could go down a whole discussion, which I won't do on the show, on, the way you took it to the other side. I mean, I have a lot of, if you know me, I'm
I think there's so many other ways to be offended, like being called a Cowboys fan,
Cowgirls. There is no such thing as cowboys. They're all
Yeah, I
cowgirls.
mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like everybody's got their different thresholds for what they're offended by, and now we've got to try and figure out what that threshold is. Are you offended by the Redskins name?
I personally was never offended by it.
I know you're a Redskins fan.
I'm not. First of all, I'm not
As a
an Indian,
Redskin,
so I'm not going to go down this road. This is getting way too serious.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is
Am I personally offended by it? No, but I'm also offended I do get, so I don't, let me preface this because I'm being backed in a corner here. I am the most non-racist, non-anything. I will advocate for any minority. Women are one. Let's be clear. I'm not some feminist, on this far crazy side of that either. But so I want to be very clear. I also believe people are on different subjects oversensitive, and I don't like the whole cancel everything. Am I offended by the name Redskins? Personally, no. But if people are offended, then I'm offended for them. Absolutely, because I'm not Native American.
Everybody can't pick everybody else's battles.
I absolutely will pick any minority's battle and fight it for them. Absolutely, I will. We can, and we can.
But why aren't you? Why aren't you out there picketing the name Redskins? Because you like it. It's the thing.
No, because I didn't have time to go downtown and picket the name, and that's the God's honest truth.
But why didn't you bring that up on your show? You took the time to talk about someone being called Barbie, but not the name Redskins.
Because I think that is a totally. Because this is going down.
But that's what I'm
Jeff,
saying. Everybody marks their own line.
Fair. I was just doing a touch on a woman and what we thought about Don Geronimo being fired. I'm on the fence either way. I think going into a territory of, down and talking about deep subjects on minorities is not a way I want to go on this.
I understand that. What I'm trying to point out is that everybody has their line in the sand, and you're offended for the girl because you're pretty and you're defending her.
I didn't
but
say
you're not,
I was offended for the girl. I think that he probably should have walked a fine line of being a little more cautious, because now he doesn't have a job in a society, right now you're going to get hemmed up for it.
Well, I mean, that one was a little over the top. In my opinion,
again, I agree.
But for
I agree
me,
with that.
like, if people call me names, I was working at Chicks and Wings as a bouncer one time, and a guy called me a redneck because I wouldn't let him in because he was.
Do you know the names I've been called?
Yeah, he was
terrible.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but I didn't care. Like,
I didn't
I'm not
care,
a redneck.
but
I think I looked like a Guido more than a redneck. But neither one of those would offend me.
But
And
this-
again, for me, let me finish.
Yeah.
The problem that I have is that everybody has their line, so they want to get offended for the thing that they don't agree with, but there's something else that's similar that they get offended. It's like everybody has their own line in the sand.
Well, yeah,
and
'cause
it's not
everybody's
even across the board
perspective is different.
everybody's somebody's mad about Barbie, somebody's mad about Redskins, but they're not mad about other words. I mean, fighting Irish, is that appropriate? Is having a leprechaun, like crazy Irish, leprechaun for Lucky Charms, is that any less appropriate or more appropriate than any of these other things we're talking about? But those are acceptable because it's everybody has their own lines, and that's the problem that I have, is that if you're mad about this, you should be mad about that and that and that and that. Or if you're not mad, you shouldn't be mad about that and that.
I personally believe if you look to be offended, you will be offended.
Yep.
There's a lot of things that have been canceled that had never crossed my mind that were like
Okay, but
supposedly inappropriate.
I always go back to guys. Hold on, and then I'm done with this because this is getting
Okay.
way too serious. Back in the day, let's go back 15, 20 years. There were girls. I can tell you, like, if Frankie, if you came up and hugged me and you hugged me for like a long big hug, like, hey, we're coworkers. Let's pretend. And Sally at the desk next to me. There is no person named Sally, by the way. You did the same to her. That might make her really uncomfortable. Yeah. I think it comes down to personal perception. Guys, I'm not agreeing, again, with cancel culture. Everything gets canceled, and not saying there's hypersensitivity. It is a whole subject I could go on and on about, and I'm going to choose not to because this is...
Well, I just have a couple of questions. Did she say, hey, Geronimo, don't call me that. I really don't appreciate that. I find it disrespectful.
I think he was in a booth.
No, but I'm saying, like, afterwards, like, you can say that afterwards.
I don't know
Hey,
their
listen,
personal
buddy, I'm a
conversations.
professional. I
She
really
did
like
make
to
a
be called
statement.
that. I don't like being called that. I would appreciate if next time you don't do that. But all of a sudden just get canceled.
Well, you don't know if that conversation went on or not, and neither do I.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of things that need to be.
Sure.
Well,
We're not privy to that. Or we'd be on the show, or their agents or something. Anyway, moving on. All right, Frankie, you had an Ask Jessica segment you wanted to do, and I'm going to let you do it. Come
speaking
on,
of pretty,
lighten the mood.
speaking of pretty. So I have a good question. So I've always noticed that. Let me see how I put this.
Put it just exactly how you said it to me one day, because
Okay,
I
so I said
know
to
you
you, what-
talked to me about this one, but you said you're throwing in extra questions.
I said, why is it that when good-looking women, hot girls, see a dude by himself, they give him no attention, but as soon as he's with another hot girl, all of a sudden they want to talk to him?
My immediate thing is money. Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's again the same thing. You don't have the same standards for everything. If I went up to a girl that I didn't know and just smacked one, kissed her on the lips, she'd be so offended and mad and might press charges or whatever. But if Brad Pitt did it, she'd be like, "Oh my God, Brad Pitt kissed me," like.
That is fair enough. I
Because
would
it's
say
the
that's
same
true.
action. It's
Fair.
because
Hey, if Brad Pitt,
He's
it's
just
because he
saying-
looks like Brad Pitt and I look like me. I'm gonna get charges if he's gonna get her phone number.
Or laid.
Yeah,
I don't like men and let Brad Pitt do that to me.
I think
I would let Brad Pitt kiss me too.
I
No, I don't-
definitely Brad Pitt can do
I don't
it.
think I'd really want to, but
We talked about this. I'll have kids for that man. I don't even want kids. I'll do anything for him. Anything. I think You're right, Frankie, and I've seen it a million times over the years where, you know, a guy is sitting by himself, and now a lot of girls go up to him. I think it's fear of missing out. Oh my God, what's interesting about him? I think some are motivated thinking monetary. I think some are just it's a natural human behavior that I want something I think I can't have because. You know, and also a competitive nature between women. I would say more younger women, but I see older women do this shit too. So a competitive nature. Oh, well, now I do want him. You think you're going to get that?
So I guess it takes us that one person to kind of open interest for the rest of them.
I've had this happen to me where I have talked to a guy and then a chick that I know damn well. And then all of a sudden she does. I just digress because I'm like, I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm being honest. Like then I'm just turned off by the situation. Period. The end. I'm like, I'm done. I don't even want to talk to him.
I get it. But I have a follow up.
Okay.
What is this obsession that women are always requiring a dude be 6 feet plus? And I'm not saying it because I'm under 6 feet.
That's what you're supposed to say. As someone that's like 5'11",
You know,
Are you 5'11"?
I wish. I'd be happy.
How tall are you?
Barely, like almost 5'8".
You're not 5'8"?
Yeah, I'm about 5'8".
You look 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8".
Yeah, you don't look anywhere below 5'8". I think you asked me this question because you know I love guys over 6 feet tall.
Well, a lot of women do.
And I'm 5 foot half inch.
I know.
As someone who is 6 feet tall but looks 5'5", I stand next to my brother, who I am now taller than because he's shrunk.
Which one, Eric?
Chris,
really?
everybody thinks that he's much taller than me, but I'm taller than him.
Oh, really?
He's just.
I don't think I've ever thought
he's
either way.
He's kind of long and narrow.
Yeah, he's
and
lanky.
and I'm wide.
He's got longer.
He's got longer limbs.
Yeah,
he's got longer limbs because he's got a narrower body.
That's what I have. Like, people don't realize when I have heels on how short I am. I told you guys this because I have my doctor. It's called something.
I mean, that makes
where
it
your
even worse, Jessica.
proportion-
That makes it even worse. Why do these even shorter women?
So I'll tell you a couple
the
things.
huge-
All right. So for me, I'm just extremely. It's not to say I wouldn't date anyone under 6 feet. I am attracted to tall men, and I always have been. And I think because they make me feel extremely safe, protected. I like that feeling when they're tall. I mean, I just really. It's physically, I'm attracted to it. So I can't explain what goes on in your head when you're physically attracted.
Yeah.
I just think it's hot, and then they have that hat backwards, and then I'm like, I'm in. But I can tell you, a lot of my tall girlfriends, or even my girlfriends, prefer shorter men than them. You know, same height, but a lot of them like shorter men than them. I mean, they don't mind it at all, and some prefer it. I'm not sure why. I mean, I'm not criticizing, but they do. So I think it's a fair split.
Okay, so let me ask this. So then it's not a woman's thing necessarily, but it's a short women thing?
Oh, interesting.
No, I think I think you just misinterpreted what I said. I said a lot of my a short women thing. No, I'm just saying they date shorter guys. I don't know if it's their preference, but they do. No, I don't think it's a short girl thing. I do see a lot of short girls like taller men. I think it's for the same reason. They can pick us up. They just make us not like that in bed
Cast
too.
a
Yeah.
nice shadow on a sunny day.
But they always make me feel safe and protected. It's just a feeling. It's just, I can tell you that for me.
I get it.
I mean, you know, why are you offended by it?
No, I mean, I can't help how tall I am. So, but true story, I think I've dated maybe one or two girls that have been shorter than me. Other than that, my height or taller.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
But I don't really. But it's just that what happens. It's not like I don't really pay attention to the height.
yeah.
It just happens. I'm not
That's what
intimi-
I'm saying. I don't think it's like,
But I'm saying if you were to ask me, right, when I fill in a bio for like a dating app, I wouldn't care about the height. I'm not gonna be like, must be 5'5", you know.
I think that I think the shortest guy, so if I'm wrong, that I ever like relationship with was 5'10" and a half, 5'11". So, and I noticed that 1 inch in many ways.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. No.
Ouch.
Well, I wasn't pointing to anybody. That was a joke. I was just, look at Julio.
It was the hand gesture for me. She's like, that 1 inch.
That 1
Jessica,
inch.
it was a joke to you, but for us, man, it was.
I wasn't thinking
It was
of-
offensive to us.
I wasn't thinking of wieners.
You're
I was-
fired.
You're
You're
fired.
fine. I was
That
offended.
inch felt
Yeah,
like a
that's
foot.
the
I'm
Jeff,
offended.
that's
I-
equivalent
she
to the
offended me,
Barbie.
Jeff.
You know.
You're fired. Oh, we can laugh about it, guys. I just don't like it getting that serious. You're gonna have me like getting all upset.
Oh, and one of the things you're talking about, like girls going up to guys when they have other girls sitting with them.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
FOMO.
Yeah.
That was my point with why he should have taken the Russian
Oh, we're
girl.
still here. Oh, okay. Russian.
Yes, let's go.
Wait, hold
Yeah,
on.
because if you're there with a Russian girl, even though you may not have the chance with her, and it's just she's using you to get to the fights, you're using her to have the other attractive girls be like, "What's he got going on? He's got this hot chick with him. Either he's got a big one or a big wallet.
Fair enough.
Let's go check him out."
Fair enough.
So you win-win in that situation. Maybe you win her over, maybe you don't, but you at least get the other girls with the FOMO.
So is the Russian girl coming this weekend or,
Man, I
or next
forgot
weekend?
about that woman. Period. It's over. Done.
See how quick that was? I guess. So there was no coffee and no table. So it's a zero. What do you call that?
It took me a second when he was
Zero
like, "Wait, what
sum
is he
total.
talking about?"
Zero sum total, as Jeff likes his math and finality.
Moving on.
Aw. Why did you move on from her so
Because
quick?
what's the ratio to men to women? It's like 3 women, 4 women per man.
What are
or
we
something.
talking about now?
I'm saying, it's like,
Sounds like Jeff's favorite subject.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking 3 women.
moving on. Let's go. Next one.
Well,
Keep it moving.
Did you miss the joke there?
Yeah, no, I got it.
Oh my gosh, my veins popping. Anyway, okay. Julio, anything for me tonight?
Oh, my question is a bit more innocent, I guess.
Innocent.
Yeah, since we're talking about Barbie.
I think Barbie's now a bad subject in here tonight.
My question
Barbie's
revolves around
ruined
Barbie.
for me now.
As a triggering word now, it's become a triggering word.
Now I'm very upset. No, Barbie's like all my happy memories. I had the house, the bus, the everything. Now I'm very upset.
I used to play with Barbies.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Jess, did I tell you I used to play with Barbies?
I'm not shocked.
Yeah. Wow. I keep getting offended over here, Jeff.
Did they fall?
Way to go.
Did your Barbies fall in love and you create like love stories?
For a
and they
while, I
got
grew up with
married?
just female
Or
cousins.
did they bang?
Because of their feet.
Did they bang?
The
Did you
little
make the
arch
Barbies?
and all that.
No, I would dress them up along with so I played with my female cousins and we would just make outfits and dress them up.
Oh, you didn't do like makeout sessions with
No.
Ken and Oh, I did. Ken and Barbie would. You'd make them kiss each other. Yeah, every girl did that. I don't care what they say. They absolutely did. All right, what's your question? Your
right.
innocent
My
question. I don't
innocent
trust
question,
you.
I know. But you know, with the whole Barbie thing and everyone.
Yes,
growing
now
up
I
with
really
Barbie,
know.
Oh, what are you
I mean,
talking
like-
about, Julio?
How many Kens did you want? No, I'm kidding. You know, Barbie is always, you know, promoting like women empowerment. You know, Barbie could be anyone she wanted to be. So you growing up with Barbies, was there like a certain Barbie that was, you know, kind of like steered you during like on a certain career path, saying like thinking like, oh, maybe I can be astronaut Barbie or podcast Barbie?
I think back in her time, there was only one Barbie.
I'm gonna mess you up. What the hell are you talking about, boy? Back in my time,
It was poor
don't make
Barbie
fun
or-
of us.
or
There were
Barbie.
porn Barbie. Was Jeff? Was there a porn Barbie?
At my house there was.
And you didn't even have sisters, or was it
Yeah,
a
but-
porno Barbie?
Have you seen my brothers?
Why? Well, tell me. Tell me what's going on.
Oh, I guess you didn't know Chris when he used to have dreadlocks and wore skirts and mesh midriff shirts. And,
I love it.
yeah.
I love it. Hey, more power to him. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope, he's always been his own person, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Shout out to Chris. So one Barbie. So I'll be honest. I love Barbie. I still will, sit down if one of my friends has kids and they have the Barbies. I'm all in. I'm doing the hair.
Yeah, those big doll houses and stuff.
Oh, I had one. I had it all.
Yeah.
I had the bus, the van, the car, the pool, the whole
Corvette?
nine. I think I did have the vet. I was very happy
I guess
when
it
I
wasn't
got the
poor
vet.
Barbie. It was an RV Barbie.
Oh, I think I had the RV. And no, I think for me, Barbie was like everything in terms of a little girl. So I like the Barbies and I still do, where they had the ball gowns on and the long hair. I did like the one Barbie that came out with the super long hair. I forget what she was called, all the way down to her like ankles.
Oh.
It was super cute. But I was more No, I wouldn't say I was like a woman empowerment Barbie person. I definitely probably had them all, but it was for me, it was that fairy tale, that fantasy of falling Barbie and being a pretty girl like that and going to a ball and then meeting a Prince Charming. It's everything like fairy tale to me. It still is. It still is. When I, it's a, and I'm not saying it's a girl thing because lots of guys I know played with Barbies, but
Guilty.
I think
I
when
bet you do.
Oh God. Okay. They play with the kitty. Anyway, so yeah, that's a cute question. All
I
right,
have
what you
another
got?
question. And we always talk about this because you're always bringing this up. So my question is, why is it that women are always asking guys about their signs?
Gang sign?
Are we talking about astrological sign, aren't
Yes,
we?
of course.
Oh, boys are all upset about this. If a girl asks me my sign, it's an automatic no. No, that's a lie, first of all. They're all fronting on there like, okay, so this beautiful girl and that's cool and everything asks what your sign is. So I get made fun about this all the time when I first start talking to people about it. No, I don't listen to I don't read my horoscope every day. I don't believe in that stuff. But I have always followed astrology and the signs. And if you start looking at people, I'm not saying the whole astrological part of it's true, but people born in certain time frames have. I do it to you all the time.
All the
I'm
time.
like, oh, that girl's probably a Capricorn. Oh, and how many times am I wrong?
You're pretty accurate.
Thank you. And so I think for women, especially as they've dated through a little bit or gone through relationships or just kind of known people, start to go, there are whole TikToks dedicated to women like, or podcasters or, whatever, walking up to people and going, what sign broke your heart? And what sign will you never be with again?
Well, I was
and
going
what
to ask
sign
you that
would
too.
you? Yeah.
I was going to ask
God.
you, what sign are you willing to date regularly, and which one are you like, hell no?
Well, let me finish this. So I will say, let me finish with my point. I will tell you right now that there are certain signs that truly I can almost call it, and I'm almost always right, that people, they will not mesh. Or it's either going to be a wrecking ball or it's going to be the most beautiful love story they ever had. There's certain dynamics. And I feel like, I'm right. Okay. God.
You're always telling me about it, and I'm like, I've never paid so much attention to it till I freaking met you. You're like
Okay.
always like bringing it up, and I'm like, interesting.
Oh, yeah. And there's definitely, like, I remember talking to one of my girlfriends one night, and she was, I don't want to say what sign, well, I could. She was a Scorpio woman, and she was dating a gentleman, and I remember going, that's probably not going to last. You need this, this, and this. And I listed it out. And it's not that he was a bad guy. I just know what she needed.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're so right. And then and for all the reasons, it's just, it's just pay attention once in a while, and then don't call me crazy because I'm not. I'm always right.
Okay.
All right.
Now I feel like every time we hang out, I'll be
So
like,
now I'm probably
Jessica,
going to
what's his
get,
sign?
I'm going to get attacked for this. Oh God.
Which are you going to tell me first? Which ones are you going to avoid, or the ones you like the most?
I'll
Start with the ones you like the
okay.
most.
I'll start with the ones I'm going to avoid. Okay, I'm not saying I wouldn't date them based on this, but I would rather not. So most of the serious guys I dated or had relationships with were Libras. And they're an Aries. I'm an Aries, sister sign. So any birthday directly 6 months is your sister sign.
Oh, okay.
They tend to balance you best. But I can't. No more I'm just like, because I'm so fiery and and sensitive. Aries are sensitive, and they're so about balancing. There's nothing wrong with them. So I'm like, I just fail miserably at Libras. Like it always ends in not okay for me. There's nothing wrong with them. Again,
I'll write that down.
interestingly enough, I wouldn't have before, but I may be interested in Virgos. My most compatible, won't date a Cancer man probably. I usually pummel all over them because they're super sensitive.
And they don't have that much time left, of course.
Taurus men, no
Not that
offense,
kind of
Jeff.
cancer.
Taurus men and I butt heads. Pisces are too sensitive generally for me. They get a little too emotional and I pummel over them. Capricorns are too hard headed for me because
So-
I'm an Aries.
So what's Brad Pitt's sign?
I don't. Shit. I don't know. I don't care. He can be
She
anything
doesn't
he
want to
wants.
look into it.
It's like the
Libra.
sign.
There's my double standard right there, guys.
I want to see. I want to look him up now to
My
see.
ex-husband was
So,
an.
so hold on.
That's my double standard. I'm saying it right now.
What is July 14th?
July 14th is Cancer.
So cancers are sensitive.
Cancer men tend to be a little more sensitive. They're the most in touch with the water signs with their emotions and more outspoken, especially I like the Cancer women. I don't dislike the men. It's just they seem to be very
My dad
sensitive.
was a Cancer, so that makes sense. But my brother Chris, who is the least sensitive person in the entire world, is also a Cancer. So my dad
Can we
was
take that
My dad was the
discussion?
end of June, and Chris is middle of July.
I love Chris. Can we take that discussion off? I'll tell you why I think Chris is sensitive in a different
Maybe.
in a different way, though.
I think he has no emotions.
Okay, fair. Poor Chris. Chris, call in and defend yourself.
No, it's not defense. He would.
being
He would
bashed,
probably
Chris.
say
He'd
that
probably
too. Like they're
agree,
not.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're
That's not a bad thing. I mean, I wish that I was more in control of my emotions. I'm very mercurial.
what's mercurial mean? I like
Up and down.
up and down. Yeah, me too a little bit sometimes. So my ex-husband that Jeff knew was an Aries. I'm an Aries. Fire and fire. It can either be the greatest thing in the world and most passionate and all those things, or you're going to kill each other. I think we did a little bit of both. So signs I would date. Or curious to date, and I would not date those signs, guys. This is just things I've learned that it probably wouldn't work for me. Definitely, Leo is supposedly my most compatible sign as an Aries. Best sex, gets
Taurus.
each other. Taurus, I can't. We butt heads, dude. We butt heads, and Taurus are very much stubborn, and Aries are the ramp. So we're just like.
No, bend over this way. No, you bend over that way.
No, I'm on top this time.
Wait a second. Turn around.
So Sagittarius, they're my favorite people, men and women. They're just the best, and they get Aries. A psychic told me to date Scorpios, which I'm a Scorpio rising, and I think that's why I get along with so many Scorpios. And Scorpios are hands down the best in And Aries are known to be. Yep.
The best in yeah.
The best
Yep.
in rising.
Well, I'm an Aries, Scorpio rising, but Scorpios all around, men and women, are known to be the best in bed. And the ones I have had sex with are pretty awesome. So try out a Scorpio.
Which one am I again?
You're Aries like me. That's a good thing. We're the other most sexual sign. So
Let's go.
yeah, and Aquarius intrigue me, so I never have luck with them. But their minds are fascinating. I love their thought process. I love the conversations they can hold. So I'm down with them. So
All right. So after
feel
the show,
my
you're gonna
sign.
tell me what I'm compatible with, what sign, and when I go out from now on, I'll be like, hey, how are you? What's your sign? What's your sign?
Girls that like it, guys hate it. But then when I break down guys' signs to them, like, and I talked, I don't lead with that. But if I know somebody's such and such, and I break it down, they're like, "Oh, you're right. I am exactly like that." And I'm like, "Duh, duh."
Yeah, it's
I've said
pretty-
things about you,
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
pretty
like,
accurate. I mean,
yeah.
we're always talking about it.
Like Jeff, like when I go, so Taurus, okay?
Yep.
They love their nice material things. That doesn't make them, they are materialistic, but they're not rude inside. I'm not trying to give that perception. And they like their foods. So like when I called
yeah.
Jeff, he's like, let's go eat. I said, do you want to go to lunch? Instead of being like, let's go get a piece of pizza, he goes, oh, let's go get pokey one day. And I was like, oh, I love this. This is why this man's a Taurus. But they like,
We're Epicurean.
yeah. And that's something I know
surprised
all
Jeff
my
knows what pokey is.
all my Taurus friends are like that. I mean, they truly are.
Jeff, are you a chef?
They like their nice things.
Did you go to
I have not
culinary
graduated
school?
from culinary school, so technically no, but I am a very good cook.
Oh, see,
What are you, Julio?
I believe I'm an Aquarius.
Yeah, you guys
January
have really
29th. January 29th, right?
Yeah, you have really, and you're a Sag.
December 20.
You're a Sag. You're a Sag Capricorn for all. You're both, but that's why we get along. Yeah, I my best girlfriends are Sages. They're just awesome.
See,
so.
girl, I knew
Look
it.
at Jess calling you his her best girlfriend.
My best friends are
Let's
badges.
go.
Your best friends are badges. Some of my best guy friends are badges too. Sometimes it's Frankie. I'm like, stop being a little bitch. But yeah, I mean, I think guys, just it's fun. Roll with it. If anything, let the girl talk to you. I mean, it makes for conversation. I don't. Again, don't know why they're getting so offended.
Me neither.
It's different girls pointing out.
Hey Jeff, I'm surprised you even participated in that conversation with me about the astrology.
Yeah, I don't really believe in it, but I'll participate.
Yeah,
I'll play along.
I mean, I think there's some truth to it. I'm not talking about predicting.
I mean,
your
it's like
future.
100. Yeah, it's not like 100%, but there's certain things that just fit, right?
Yeah, just look at people born in certain time frames, and they always follow suit. Always follow suit, and it's interesting if you pay attention. It's actually pretty cool. Anyway, moving on. So, let's get into the juicy sex stuff. So I sent Frankie about 2 weeks ago. There's a lady on TikTok, and her TikTok handle username is, I have to read it because I don't want to get it wrong. She is called hold on, I have it written here. Sorry.
Is it the poetry girl?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Black Girls Poetry.
It's called a Black Girl's Poetry. And what she does is she embarks on racy subjects through poetry. And they're hilarious. I mean, they're raunchy, they're hilarious, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And she had this one that was like, sex should come first before anything. And I'm going to be this a little raunchy, guys, so turn it off if you don't want to hear it.
How'd I get out of here?
Don't get offended.
But she kind of goes on to say, if the dick isn't good, I'm not in. And if I don't know that up front, then why am I giving you my heart and energy? And I listened to this whole poem, and she goes, love and sex is not naturally related. We have made that as a society. Now she poets this all through, right?
Yeah.
And she goes on to say, and if you fuck him and he changes up, then you know what he was there for. If you bang him and he doesn't change up, then you know he was there for other reasons too, right? Yeah. And she also says it's not to take away from the sanctity and value of that you're sharing your physical self with somebody. It's very cool how she twists this, but it made me think. And then she says this line, regardless of what I have to read it, guys. I hate doing this, but regardless of what you have been led to believe about men, they don't get auto access to your soul. You have to invite them in. I can F you till the sun comes up and let you deep in these ladies' parts. But having access to this P word doesn't give you access to this heart. And what she was saying is my heart and my energy is way more important to me. She's like, girls put their punani, I don't want to say a bad word, on a pedestal and hold that back from guys. But at the end of the day, what's more important is your energy, your heart, your spirit, your mind, all those things make you connect with somebody. And it kind of made me think, and guys, I'm divided on the message that I want to come out of this, because I don't want to personify to young girls listening that just go out and give your body, because, that I think, it is important to have sanctity of your body if that's what you believe. Absolutely. And, I have it too. So I'm not saying this. I find it to be an interesting discussion. I also think that the most important parts of me are my heart, is the energy I give, is the emotional exchange with you of conversation. And there's times where I was like, well, I much rather would have just had sex with you than went through this whole gamut of things, because now I feel a little bit hurt. We could have just banged. And now I've let you in my world a little bit, right? And I think that's what gets people too. So I found it interesting. What's your opinion?
I think there's a balance between it. It's not like both extremes, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Just go ahead and just have sex, whatever. but I think she also said that there was a point you mentioned that caught my attention, that she said bad dick is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But goes on to say that I'd rather you penetrate my body before you penetrate my mind.
But I think it's easier to say as someone my age that it's hard because if I say it one way, I'm going to come off as sound like a hooker, and I know it, a hoe, and I'm not at all out there throwing my shit out there.
Say it in a
But
poem.
I would much rather give that part of me than sit there and connect with somebody on mind and spirit, because that's what gets me. Because remember, we talked about I just can't have S with someone without emotion. But then when I took kind of watch this, and I'm like, well, God, that's where everybody gets caught up, especially as you get older. I don't know about younger. I really,
Well, that's
I'm
what I was
careful
gonna
to
say. I think
personify the
age
right
plays
message.
like a role in it, though. The age, like she was like, what did she look like? She was like in her 30s, maybe.
Yeah.
The poet.
Well, yeah.
So that plays a big role in it.
Well, I think a lot of things about how we feel about sex are, brought up through our religion, through our family upbringing. I know, my mother especially was super like, your body's a temple, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never having sex ever. Well, we know that was a lie. It's a big lie. But no, I held myself with respect, but so I grew up in that way. But then as I developed my own opinions and this and that kind of changed. But I think a lot of that in your youth has to deal with how you're brought up. And then you start to develop yourself, grow and change. Jeff, you have an opinion? Or are you busy?
I was about to sneeze. Sorry.
Oh,
Well, you know me. I can totally separate the two, and that doesn't matter to me. So
how do you separate it? I'm being honest. I mean, asking an honest question.
I don't know. I think that the sex, if you're in a relationship, that brings you closer together. But sex is an animalistic act that you're doing, and you can remove emotion from that, just like you can remove emotion from eating, or any other things that you're doing that comes naturally to you.
So I love that, because I was going to ask you specifically on. She says in there, love and sex are not naturally related. We've made it that way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
'cause that's the thing. It's the same thing with like food. Like some people, my brother, he eats to sustain himself. Like he doesn't enjoy food.
No, I enjoy like Mediterranean sushi picking. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but
I don't
fuel.
enjoy a
He's
steak
fuel.
dinner.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't give him pleasure or joy the way
Yeah.
that it does me when I eat.
Right.
So, those things are connected, but with him it's not. But it's the same like animalistic, natural act that you need to survive. You need to have sex to, continue the species. You need to eat to continue your life. So I think that everybody has different opinions and how they handle it. And just like I can separate if I'm having food, it doesn't necessarily always have to connect with enjoyment. If it's something that like I need to eat just because,
Right. Yeah.
whatever. It's not something that I particularly enjoy, but I do. There's nothing else to eat, and I eat it because I haven't had dinner in a while, whatever. But
like
then
this
there's also
point.
things that I do enjoy that, I do connect with that feeling. And I think the same thing with sex is it's when you're in a relationship, it makes it that much better, but it's still good, like pizza.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I think for me, I think maybe I speak for women a little more just because I am one. We think. No.
No, speak for us, Jess.
Show
Speak
us.
for us guys.
Prove it.
Stop. I meant some people are like, you talk like a dude is what I meant, because I do.
I thought you were going to whip it out.
I can shut up. I can totally. God, I get razzed. I'm gonna go home and cry tonight. No, I'm kidding. I think for me, like I can, if I'm not with somebody in a relationship, the act of sex during, I can do it. I say emotionless. That sounds very bad, but exactly what you're saying, right?
You don't have to connect that. Yeah.
The problem is somehow, and I think maybe with the oxytocin, and this is honest, and then, somebody connecting with me, like we talked about things that are deep interest to both of us or values and things just in general. That's where I can make it, and then I'll be like, well, damn, then it comes back, it meshes back together, like, and then I get screwed up with my emotions.
But I think
Now,
age plays a big role.
Hold
in
on,
it.
I am also good at, if a guy rejects me, I'm just like, it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, but I can move on very quick. I'm like, okay, like, I can go like that. And it's a weird ability.
But
it scares
I don't
me a
mean to
bit.
bring everything to food, which obviously I love.
Are you taking us to dinner? Are you taking us out
hey,
to
wait.
dinner?
I'm getting hungry now.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, Taurus. Okay,
Yeah.
Taurus. Exactly.
But he doesn't believe
the
in
thing
it.
is, that's the thing is, you can separate them. You know, when if you're enjoying a meal, that gives you a different sensation than if
Right.
you're going out to dinner with your loved ones or your friends or whatever. That meal connects in your brain differently than the meal that you have at home eating shredded wheat
Sure.
or whatever. You know,
Sure. I get
and
you- I
you
get
still
your
enjoy
correlation.
it. There's just varying degrees.
Yeah.
And I think this is the same for me with sex, is that I can still enjoy it. Shredded wheat's still pretty good. It's not as good as pizza or cake, but again, those all have different levels. But I'm still gonna enjoy even on the lowest level.
But I think throughout my life, and God, here we go. I'm going to get crucified for this. If I've had a true one night stand throughout my life, it's so much easier than when I've gone through the actions
Yeah.
of a date and all this, and then you
Oh, me
connect,
too.
and then all of a sudden you disconnect from that person. You're like, what? I would have been just okay if we had the one night stand. Do we have to do all the other shit too?
Yeah,
It
but
kind
I
of pisses
agree.
me
But
off.
I think maybe you go into it differently. You probably go into it thinking I'm doing this because it's potential for a relationship.
Fair.
I'm going into it thinking this is sex, and if a relationship comes out of it, then
I mean that might
okay.
be a guy thing versus a girl thing, and I don't know if I'm saying going into it thinking relationship, but I definitely, as I've gotten older, I have a different thought process. I feel like I've given up on thinking anything can possibly ever
But that's
be a
what I was gonna say.
relationship for
Age
me.
plays a difference because when you're younger, you're obviously
Sure.
like hornier, right? So
Well,
you want
excuse
that
me,
physical.
But it's
For every
also
woman
social
ever-
mores because
Yeah.
guys are expected to go out and sow the wild oats when they're teenagers, and girls are supposed to be pure, as the way that it's been for years. And
I lost that
centuries,
battle.
So it's different for you too, because you're taught to hold on to it and save it for the person you're going to marry. Not as much nowadays.
Nobody
but,
has that pipe dream.
Yeah, but that's the
Some
way that it
people
was
do.
for,
Some
for,
people
for
do.
so long. And even to this day,
I
girls are
respect
expected to be more conservative, so they get it into their head that they need to connect the relationship with the sex. Whereas guys, they connect the act with fun, and that's it. They don't
Right.
connect it with, I might have a relationship out of this.
That's fair. I mean, first of all, Frankie, I don't know what world you live in, but I get hornier as I get older, and each passing year I get hornier and hornier. And I probably speak for most women over 40, even more women over 45. We are animals. Whether you're married, whether you're in a relationship, that sex drive just keeps going up, up, up. If I'm wrong, ladies, correct me. And I love every minute. I've had a high sex drive since day one, but it just keeps going up. It's insane to me. Well, I mean, obviously, I talk about it all the time like I'm a dude.
Now say it in a poem.
Huh?
Just say what you just said, but in a poem format.
I'm going to do it. All right. I'll make it. Oh, my God. Does that mean we got to go? We got to go. Well, we're going to
No,
get out.
that was you and your
was you
enjoying
drilling.
yourself as you get older.
Nice, Scott. Nice. You haven't been a participant all night. I'm very upset with you, Scott. Real quick, we want to touch on something super fun before we go. We'll have more discussion on that. Lauren's coming on next week. I'm really excited. We're going to be on Thursday next week.
Yes.
But Frankie and I had a quick conversation. I'd love you guys' opinion. We can go into this again with her. But I was like, God, these girls have got to stop sending nudes. Ladies, stop sending these nudes. And I'm sure every
please
guy,
send more.
every guy out there is going to be like, send more. I literally told one boyfriend, and I ended up being with him a long time. Oh my God,
This is
Jess.
tonight.
Remember, ladies, not all heroes. wear
I
capes,
literally
so send
think
them nudes.
one, and I was in a relationship, for a long time, and never said. I'm like, well, a guy asked me for nudes. I'm like, that's forever.
Yeah.
I'm not a member of your spank bank, and I'm also not going to be in your guy conversation where you're all out looking at my tits or my, you know what. No, why are you girls doing this? Don't do it.
How about if
and
you
if
just-
a guy wants you to, and that's a prerequisite that you're afraid he may or may not want you, then wrong guy. Wrong guy. Screw him.
If you're afraid he's going to share it, then wrong guy.
Yeah.
They all share it, Jeff. My guy friends have showed me, not you, in all fairness, not you.
Damn.
But have showed.
I just showed you, but you couldn't tell who it was.
Well, no, but that was.
You can tell what it was.
I
They
can
send
tell
them
who
without
it was.
the, can they send them without the face?
I mean, you can
Guys will
crop
still
any
tell who-
picture. They'll tell
yeah.
who it is, dude. They'll tell who it is. I will not.
Well, you know what? Send feet pics.
But
I mean-
I've never shared anyone that
Jeff-
was like an intimate, like.
You know why? Because you get laid. Here's why. You get laid. You have a very open mind. And so you know a world that some of these people do not know.
You know what it
I'll
is
share
now?
the ones that are not necessarily. Hey, here's a private one for us. You know, it's
Yeah.
somebody who's a little more liberal and like,
Do you guys use them for the spank bank?
no.
Frankie, have you ever used nudes for the spank? You have. I guarantee you have. Julio, you have spank bank nudes?
No, I just use what I can remember.
Hey, Scott, any spank bank nudes you have?
I'm not quite sure what that is.
Oh, my God.
Nude pictures that you jerk off to,
So classy.
like the people send to you.
I like how Jeff just.
You've never heard the word spank bank?
No, that's maybe an old term. I don't know.
Well, what's the new term?
Yeah, what's the new term? I bet you guys
I
don't
have
have
no
one.
clue.
Exactly, because we were way cooler than you. I love that meme, and we'll get out of here. I love that meme where it says, you people that party now are such, meek or whatever. We used to get out of bed, sleep for 15 minutes, and go with the bar stamp still on our hand.
I know.
I was in a meeting one time. I left the boat, not even an hour's sleep, partied all night. My boss called a meeting on a holiday, put on the dress. The VP was coming in from out of town. I know I reeked like alcohol. Okay. My girlfriend comes and picks me up from Georgetown waterfront, drives me to my meeting in Arlington. I'm literally sitting there through the meeting with everybody, and nobody tells me half my fake eyelashes hanging down my face as I'm talking to the VP. Because I forgot to re-glue them.
You have like three wristbands.
No, 'cause we
and
were
a
on the
stand
boat.
and 5 stamps.
But I've done it where I'm like, oh, damn, I slept 15 minutes. I have done it and gone to work. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Anyway, guys, we will be back here next Thursday instead of Wednesday.
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. Make sure you just subscribe on the Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. And you guys take good care. Tune in next week. Later.